in the shadowed halls of the Elysian Palace on Zorith Prime, where the stars bled crimson through crystalline domes, Princess Lyriel stood alone as the rejection ceremony concluded in silence. No suitor had stepped forward, not one from the 1,000 worlds of the Galactic Concord. Her reflection in the polished obsidian floor mocked her, a fragile silhouette against the vast emptiness of space beyond. But as the echoes of retreating footsteps faded, a figure emerged from the human delegation shadows, a man with eyes like fractured Earth skies, bold enough to defy the stars themselves. Lyriel's heart, engineered for poise and precision, stuttered in her chest. Who was this intruder? The Concord's laws forbade humans from the sacred rites. They were primitives, relics of a conquered fringe world, tolerated only for their unpredictable ingenuity. Yet here he was, striding across the luminous floor, his boots echoing like thunder in the vacuum of her humiliation. The courtiers gasped, tentacles and appendages twitching in outrage. Guards leveled plasma lances, but the human didn't flinch. He stopped before her throne, knelt on one knee, and uttered words that shattered the ancient protocol. "I choose you, princess, not as a conquest, but as an equal." What madness was this? Lyriel leaned forward, her iridescent scales shimmering under the artificial auroras. She had been groomed for this moment since her hatching, the youngest daughter of Emperor Vexer, destined to forge alliances through union. But her flaw, as the elders whispered, had repelled them all. A genetic anomaly that made her empathic, feeling the emotions of others like raw wounds. In a society built on cold logic and hierarchical dominance, empathy was weakness. No alien lord wanted a bride who could sense his hidden cruelties. But this human, his emotions washed over her like a warm tide, unfiltered and fierce. Curiosity? Defiance? Something deeper, like longing? She waved off the guards, her voice steady despite the storm within. "Speak your name, outsider, before I have you atomized." He rose slowly, his frame unarmored, clad in the simple gray uniform of Earth's diplomatic corps. "Captain Elias Thorne of the United Earth Fleet. And I don't come to mock you, your highness. I come because I've watched from afar your grace, your isolation. In my world, we don't choose partners for power. We choose for connection." His words hung in the air, a challenge to the Concord's rigid codes. The Emperor's holographic form flickered to life beside her, his multifaceted eyes narrowing. "This is heresy. Humans are observers, not participants." But Lyriel felt a spark ignite, something forbidden, thrilling. Was this the beginning of her salvation, or the unraveling of empires? The ceremony's aftermath buzzed through the palace like a swarm of nanites. Whispers slithered through ventilation shafts, carried on encrypted waves to distant worlds. Lyriel retreated to her private sanctum, a spherical chamber orbiting the palace core, where artificial gravity mimicked the gentle pull of her homeworld's moons. She floated in the zero-G field, replaying the human's audacity. Elias Thorne, his file materialized in her neural implant. A war hero from the fringe conflicts where humans had clawed back territories from Concord expansion. Decorated for bravery, but scarred, literally a faint line across his jaw from a plasma burn. Why risk everything for her? The Concord could crush Earth like a brittle asteroid. A soft chime announced a visitor. To her surprise, it was not her father, but Thorne himself, escorted by reluctant guards. He entered awkwardly, his body adjusting to the low gravity, and bowed. "I apologize for the intrusion, but we need to talk. Before your council decides my fate." Lyriel's empathy probed him. No deception, only urgency. She gestured to a hovering seat. "You have 5 cycles. Explain why a human would court death by courting me." He sat, his eyes meeting hers without the deference aliens showed. "Because I've seen what the Concord does to those like you. Different, feeling too much. On Earth, we call it a gift. And honestly, your beauty isn't just in your form, it's in your silence during that ceremony. Strength unspoken." Their conversation stretched into the artificial night, words weaving like threads in a quantum tapestry. Thorne spoke of Earth, its chaotic oceans, fractured histories, the raw pulse of human emotion that drove innovation and destruction alike. Lyriel shared fragments of her world. The Concord's vast network of wormhole gates, linking 1,000 species in uneasy peace, the genetic purges that ensured logical purity, her own secret journals filled with forbidden poems about the star's loneliness. As he left, a question lingered in her mind. Could a human truly understand an alien heart? But that was only the beginning. Dawn on Zoreth Prime brought the Emperor's summons. Vexer loomed in the grand auditorium, his form augmented by cybernetic tendrils that interfaced with the palace AI. Daughter, this human farce ends now. He is to be expelled or executed if the council demands. Lyriel's scales flushed with rare anger. Father, no suitor from our worlds chose me. Is my worth so low that even a human's offer insults you? The Emperor's eyes softened, a glitch in his stoic facade. It's not insult, it's danger. Humans are volatile. Their emotions lead to wars. Remember the Fringe uprising. But Lyriel felt Thorn's influence already, a seed of rebellion. She nodded obedience, but in her chambers, she activated a secure channel. Elias, meet me at the Shadow Docks. We leave tonight. Escape was perilous. The palace swarmed with sentinels, drone eyes scanning every corridor. Lyriel donned a cloaking veil, her empathy guiding her past patrols by sensing their boredom, their lapses. Thorn waited in a stolen shuttle, his face illuminated by console lights. "You're sure about this?" he asked as she boarded. "Once we jump through the gate, there's no turning back." She touched his hand, feeling the warmth of mammalian skin against her cool scales, a jolt of connection. "I'm sure. Show me your world. Elias, show me freedom." The shuttle lurched into the void, wormhole energies warping reality around them. Alarms blared behind, pursuit crafts launching. What horrors awaited if they were caught? They emerged in the Sol system, Earth's blue marble hanging like a jewel against the black. But safety was illusion. Concord hunters trailed them through the gate, cloaked vessels decloaking in orbit. Thorn piloted evasively, diving toward Luna's craters. "Hold on." Laser fire grazed their hull, sparks flying. Lyriel's mind raced. Her empathy detected the hunters' cold resolve, no mercy in their logic. "They're programmed for termination," she warned. Thorn grinned fiercely. "Then let's give them emotion to deal with." He broadcast a distress signal laced with human folklore, tales of ghosts and defiance. That jammed their AI with anomalous data. The hunters faltered, systems glitching. They escaped to Earth's surface, crashing in the Amazon's dense canopy. Bruised but alive, they stumbled into the rain-soaked jungle. "Welcome to home," Thorn panted. But shadows moved in the trees. Were they alone? Earth was a revelation to Lyriel. The air hummed with unfiltered life. Birds screeching, rivers roaring, humans laughing in distant villages. They hid in a forgotten outpost, once a fringe base, now overgrown. Thorn taught her survival. Fire from friction, water from vines, primal skills the Concord had long automated away. In quiet nights, under starlit skies unmarred by domes, they shared stories. "I lost my family in the wars," he confessed, voice cracking. "That's why I approached you. I saw the same loneliness in your eyes." Lyriel felt his grief echo her own isolation, a bridge across species. But empathy revealed more. His fear of attachment, scarred by loss. "And if I hurt you," she whispered. He pulled her close. "Then it's worth the risk." Their first kiss was electric, scales against skin, logic yielding to passion. Yet a transmission interrupted, Concord forces massing. The chase was far from over. As days blurred into weeks, they traversed Earth's hidden paths, from Amazon depths to Siberian tundras, evading drones with human ingenuity. Lyriel adapted, her anomaly becoming strength. She sensed ambushes before they struck, feeling the hunters' approach like chills. But tension mounted. In a Moscow safe house, Thorn revealed a secret. Earth has a weapon. The empathy engine, a forbidden tech from captured Concord ships. It amplifies emotions, could disrupt their fleets. Lyriel's eyes widened. "That's why they fear us." Not our ships, but our hearts. They decided to activate it, but betrayal lurked. A human ally, jealous of their bond, leaked coordinates. Concord commandos stormed in, plasma rifles humming. Surrender the princess. Thorn fought back, improvised explosives buying time. Lyriel unleashed her empathy, overwhelming a soldier with projected sorrow. He collapsed, weeping. They fled. But Thorn was wounded, blood staining the snow. Leave me, he gasped. No, she vowed. We end this together. Why saw next changed. Everything. Deep in the Himalayas, they reached the engine's vault, a cavern etched with ancient human runes, fused with alien circuits. As Thorn's fever rose, Lyriel interfaced, her mind merging with the machine. Visions flooded. Concord's hidden truth. The Empire wasn't built on logic, but suppressed emotion. Centuries ago, they purged feelings to avoid a cataclysmic war, but it left them hollow, conquering to fill the void. Her flaw was no anomaly. It was the original state, a key to restoration. Elias, they're afraid of feeling again, she realized. He nodded weakly. Then show them. Activating the engine sent a pulse through wormholes, broadcasting empathy waves across the galaxy. Worlds trembled, aliens felt joy, grief, love for the first time in eons. Riots erupted, alliances fractured. But the Emperor responded with fury. A fleet warped in, bombarding Earth. Cities burned, skies darkened with debris. Lyriel and Thorn raced to orbit in a salvaged ship, the engine's core in tow. We confront him, she declared. Docking on the flagship, they faced Vexer in his throne room. Daughter, you've doomed us all. His voice cracked. The wave had pierced even him. Lyriel's empathy surged. Beneath his armor, regret. Father, this isn't doom. It's awakening. Thorn stood beside her, hand in hers. Choose emotion over empire. A duel of wills ensued. Vexer's tendrils lashed, but Lyriel projected memories. Her childhood laughter lost to purges. He faltered, tears, impossible tears forming. I remember. The fleet stood down. In the aftermath, as peace negotiations bloomed, Lyriel and Thorn stood on a rebuilt Earth balcony, stars wheeling above. The Concord evolved, integrating emotion, with humans as guides. But bittersweet shadows lingered, losses irreversible, scars eternal. Lyriel turned to him. You chose me when no one else would. He smiled. And I'd choose you across 1,000 worlds. As the first shared dawn broke, blending alien auroras with terrestrial light, the galaxy whispered of new beginnings. Yet in the quiet, one truth endured. Love, once ignited, could reshape the stars themselves.